Teak by Todd. Super yachts, boats, and some homes. Refurbished teak, re-teak teak, re-caulk teak. We do it all. Clearwater, Florida. We travel the state of Florida. Today I'm going to show you a video on taping up the floor. So far we've got all the caulking out. Walls are clean. Scraped them up. Acetoned them up. Sanded them up. Actually, we sanded them first and then we acetoned them. To this point now we're just going to apply some tape. So I'm just going to put the video down and let you watch me apply some tape. I just start right at the edge right there. I mean, as tight as I can get it. I want them all to look very uniform. And I sling out a lot of tape. I kind of get it on the line. And I just run my finger along it. And if I see a spot where it needs to be in or out some, I can just pull it with my right hand over here. It's pretty much right in line. I'm going to lose you here for a second. I'm going out of the picture. $136 square feet. And this customer is very particular. This particular customer wanted all the caulking pulled out by hand. That took me a long time. My machine, which is basically my angle grinder, would have probably blown up too much rubber, and it slings it everywhere. So in that case, if you do get to use one, I would definitely do some drop cloths, something around the boat where you're working, because you'll sling that rubber for a distance. It'll get hooked onto walls and stuff. So, and if it does, we'll just use a little acetone to clean that off. Alright, I'm almost coming back your way. I'll just do about 3 rows of these, shut the video down, you get the idea. So, and you want to kind of squeeze them down in between. There's different ways of caulking. As of, put the caulking down. You want to squeegee it as tight as possible, as to where there's no residual caulking left on the tape. This way you know you've got a nice streamline. And when you pull your tape up, you're not going to have excess that dried on with your main line caulking. Because you could pull your tape up, and next thing you know, you've got little jaggers everywhere hanging off. They look like little leeches or something. They're really just trying to hang on. So, then there's different myths and ways. How long should I take before I pull the tape off? I typically like to wait 48 hours before I pull a tape up. Some people say they like to pull it up in 45 minutes. I don't know, maybe some would pull it up in a couple hours. I just like the caulking to get settled in that groove. I want it to dry. I just feel like you're pulling up tape attached to your caulking, and I don't know, you could possibly pull it up out of the groove. I'd rather wait for it to dry a little bit and adhere to the walls. So, and then there's another thought of, you could squeegee all the caulking down and then pull the tape up immediately, but I think there'd be too much ooey gooey. Too much ooey gooey still. So the customer and I have discussed 24 to 48 hours, and I realistically think the longer the better. I really like the 48. I just think the top layer cotton, you know, the residual left on there, which should be virtually none, it's gotten a little bit hard, and it peels off easier to the main gap groove that you filled up. I just like it better when it dries more. One thing you don't want to use cheap blue tape. Not from the Dollar General or the dollar store. It's a knockoff. It's a knockoff, and it doesn't work. And obviously it tapes down. Watch this, I'm running my finger all through the groove right there just to press down in the very center of where that tape is at. Anyway, when you go pull up the Dollar General blue tape, it ends up, it's terrible. There's residue everywhere of glue. And you got to use another chemical to get that done. All right, so Teak by Todd. Coming along. Almost there. 727-325-4792. Teak by Todd. 727-325-4792. For hire. We'll travel the state of Florida.